Well, hey folks, Relaunching with Joe Rentaloons, Rapid Fire episode 69. Nice. And I got a few topics to talk about here. I had to do that kind of intro. Come on, it's me. That number is just funny to me, and for obvious reasons, having a dirty mind. Got a few topics to talk about here. I'm going to dive right into it. Just big thank you to you guys first for enjoying the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your support. Neville's release. I know this did happen almost about 2 weeks ago as we're recording this video. And I'm very happy for him. Wherever he goes, WWE did shaft him, should have used him a whole lot better. Yes, he did get a long run as Cruiserweight Champion. They didn't really do anything with him. I think he was on the main card of like one pay-per-view. I think it was Fastlane against Jack Gallagher. And nothing against Jack Gallagher. That was actually a very good match on a mediocre pay-per-view. But he deserves so much better. And even though he was one of the best parts of 205 Live, they had him... when they wanted him to job to Enzo, I mean, I think he finally just said, no, forget this, I'm gonna leave. He walked out. That was the rumor, at least. I mean, I'm sure we'll hear from Neville, or now Pac, because that's what he was on the Indies. I'm sure we'll hear from him about why he was released, or why he did what he did, and I don't blame him. He's better than that. He'd go to Impact, he could go to Ring of Honor, he could go on the British independent scene. He could be in Japan. He could call his shots, and he could do really damn well. So I wish him absolutely the best. I don't think he'll ever be IWGP Heavyweight Champion. If they put him in the Junior Heavyweight division, he could be Junior Heavyweight Champion a couple times over, be a Tag Team Champion, be part of Never Openweight six-man title. He could be Never Openweight Champion because he's just that talented. He could be Impact World Champion. He could be Ring of Honor champion. He could even appear in Lucha Underground, but I don't think... I'd be very shocked if he did anything more than just one appearance. But his ceiling's very high. Wish him the best, certainly. Super talented guy. Can't wait to see what else he does outside of WWE now that he's able to do whatever the hell he wants. So, best of luck, Neville. Now, according to Dave Meltzer, so take this with about 20 tons of salt, because Dave, plans change, Meltzer... does know his facts. I will give him that much credit. That's about as much credit as I'll give Meltzer, because I don't really have any respect for the guy otherwise. Because he tries to act bigger than he is. I'm just a wrestling fan, that's all I'll ever be. That's just all I'm going to say. It's like I've never claimed to be anybody with insider knowledge. It's just observing stuff. I just observe stuff as a fan. But don't have an ego about it. And, I really enjoy interacting with you guys, so I appreciate you wrestling fans, you fellow wrestling fans, interacting with me, because that's all we are. It's all I am to you, that's all you guys are to me. Besides being cool people. We're all just wrestling fans, we're all just having fun. Anyway, Shawn Michaels may come out of retirement to be part of a tag team match, whether it's just a tag match, a multi-man match, a Greatest Survivor Series match, for the WWE Saudi Arabia show on November 2nd. And that's pretty fucking ridiculous, in my opinion. Now, look, money talks. They got a shit ton of money from Saudi Arabia. It's Shawn's life. He can do what the fuck he wants. If this ends up happening. Now, mind you, we're still about 2 months away from this happening. So just take it right now, they're just rumors. But if this ends up happening, all the dream matches he turned down because he wanted to keep his retirement legit, and he wants to get back in the ring, and he's nearly 9 years older than he was when he retired from WWE at WrestleMania 26. Come on. I love Shawn. Shawn is one of the best of all time. I still think Brett's better than Shawn. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I just have no desire to see Shawn back in the ring. Because I'm not saying that he still wouldn't be able to summon up one good performance, and in a tag match he could hit his spots without taking too many bumps. But just if they did this, it would just be a travesty, in my opinion. Now, okay, maybe the Saudi Arabia government, because they're paying them all this money, want these stars there. They apparently wanted Yokozuna and Ultimate Warrior there, despite the fact they died years ago. That just shows how stuck in the past they are. Honestly, I do not want to see Shawn Michaels back in the ring. I don't. When they possibly tease a possible Taker versus Shawn match on Raw just this past week, which was not very good, the Labor Day edition, I was like, no, I don't want to see this. And I mean, it's their lives, their careers. Ultimately, they can do what they want. If these rumors do turn out to be true, it's fucking bullshit. And it is fucking bullshit. Because I'm sorry, there is no reason for Shawn to get back in the ring. This is a big problem. And check out my WWE's Current Product Part 1 rant, where I touched on the fact that part-timers don't really need to keep coming back. Now, I mean, I get why, nostalgia pop, merch, all that. I get why. And I'm not saying they should be cast aside and forgotten about. But that's at the expense of the current roster. And this just shows, it's like, okay, am I saying that Shawn doesn't still have one good match left in him? If he did, I think he would have come back before now. Am I saying it's going to suck? No, I'm not saying it's going to suck. I just don't want to see it. But we may end up seeing it, and who knows? They may not end up even broadcasting that Saudi Arabia show on the network, because I guess they got so much flack before. And not even WWE, but just the fact Saudi Arabia's like, we're progressive, and apparently they're not. I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying U.S. needs to go impose, or WWE can impose their rules in another country, but I did that in my Greatest Royal Rumble rant. I'll put a playlist of my pay-per-view reviews at one point, probably sometime after this video goes up. And you guys can check that out, or you guys can just scroll through all the videos I do and you can figure that out. But anyway, I'm not for Shawn coming back to the ring if this ends up happening. If it just turns out to be a rumor, great. Okay, it's just a rumor. And that's all it is right now. But I certainly am not for Shawn Michaels coming back to the ring. Least of all in Saudi Arabia. I mean, I'm sorry, all the money in the world. I mean, it's like you need to do that at Survivor Series, the Rumble, WrestleMania. You got to do it on a big stage. And just, I'm sorry, just going to say, what? No, but their lives, their careers, they can do what they want. And money talks. Money does talk. So now I'm going to get into a rant about wrestling fans. Now, I've ranted about wrestling fans before. I have gotten fired up and said stupid shit as a wrestling fan. I have said stupid shit at wrestling shows. I have said stupid shit in my youth. I did a real honest retrospective changing for the better. That was back in, I think, January or February. I enjoyed doing that because I talked about how I used to be and how I am now. I'm just angry as opposed to anything else. But anyway, here's what I'm mainly going to focus on with wrestling fans. Wrestling fans have chanted foreign wrestlers where their first language is not English. It's either Japanese, in the case of Asuka, or, I don't know, like Almas. Almas in particular is one I'm going to focus on because from SmackDown Live. Zelina Vega is there because Andrade Cien Almas, who is a fantastic fucking wrestler and is trying to learn English, and it's not easy to learn a second language. He was cutting a promo, and he was not doing bad. I mean, did I understand everything the guy said? No, because I couldn't hear him over the fucking crowd saying, "What, you disrespectful, fucking possibly racist cunts." It's one thing to be a mark or smart or that kind of stuff, and I'm not even using those words bad. It's one thing to just have fun and just be snarky and that kind of stuff and have fun. You get out there with a language that you don't know in front of people that speak that language, and you try to speak that language in front of 10,000 people, and you see how the fuck you do. I mean, granted, the Detroit, the Detroit taping, or, the SmackDown show in Detroit, I think only had an arena that was about 60% full, so that's not saying much, but still, thousands of people. You try speaking in front of thousands of people with a language that you do not understand, or fully understand, you're still trying to learn. You fucking ungrateful idiots. It's not even about having fun at that point. That's just being a dick. I mean, and yeah, you go the chants various people have done, the CM Punk chants and the Fight Forever chants. I mean, Fight Forever isn't really that bad, but CM Punk chants. But the what chants is like, okay, this is why, especially when it comes to this is why some wrestling fans most wrestling fans get a bad rap, because of vocal, dumb fuckers like this. Seriously, that's fucking goddamn disrespectful to do that kind of stuff. Almas is trying. And Almas, by the way, better wrestler, better worker, seemingly a better guy than any of you guys could ever hope to be. Chanting what at a wrestling event isn't necessarily that bad, but you really save it for the segments that are absolute ass. Do it during stuff like the Lashley Sisters segment, the Jinder Mahal Lashley, meditation thing, or stuff like that. Those kind of awful segments. stuff like that, bad interviews, whatever. Do that kind of stuff. But to just do it just because it's a foreign wrestler trying to speak your guys' language and you don't like how he's speaking it, that's fucking disrespectful. They done it to Asuka. And by the way, I was ready to fight the people that did it to Asuka because that was fucking disrespectful. And I'm a major fan of Asuka, so yeah, right there, maybe my fandom's coming a little bit into play here, but that kind of shit was absolutely 100% disrespectful. I sure as hell hope you fuckers don't have kids, because that's a bad fucking example for kids. Like, yeah, I'm kind of holding people accountable because you guys are on TV. Yeah, you pay a lot of money for tickets. I mean, I'm going to a Raw show October 1st. And I'm pretty certain I will boo and jeer and that kind of stuff. I mean, I won't go so far as to wish death or injury on people because, oh yeah, that's a little bit harsh. I mean, fuck, if I was going to a SmackDown taping and Carmella came out, what the hell am I going to scream? Am I going to scream, you can't wrestle? I may not think she's a very, very good wrestler, but she's tried. I mean, I'm less harsh on her now that she's no longer champion, because she shouldn't have been champion. But the whole point, if she was at least trying, at least doing some stuff. So I'll give her that much credit right there. But these fans chanting what? It's like, chanting what at any foreign wrestlers? You guys are fucking dicks. That's just all I really have to say about it. You guys are fucking dicks. So now I'm going to finish up with a rant about fans divided on All In and comparing it to WWE and saying that All In was the greatest show ever. So I'm going to just give my opinions on it. One, stop attacking people that did not think that All In was the greatest show ever. Just because you thought something was the greatest thing ever doesn't mean others thought it. I gave, in my review, I gave All In an A for the spectacle of it. Now, did I like everything about it? No, I did not. Did I care for the Joey Ryan penis stuff? I don't get the shtick with Joey Ryan. I don't get his dick shtick. And yeah, I had to do that. You could use that as a hashtag if you want. I don't get it, but I don't condemn the guy just because I don't get his character. Is it wrestling that I enjoy? No. Do I care for the character? No. Do I think this... I laughed at the rest in penis chants. I laughed at that. But the whole thing was ridiculous. I mean, I watched enough of the being the elite, that they were enjoyable. But no, it's like, just because I didn't care for Joey Ryan stuff, and just because there were a couple things I didn't necessarily care for, I still gave it an A for the fact they were able to pull it off. Yes, there were technical issues. Yes, there were this stuff and all this. And you guys can check out the All In review if you'd like to get my full thoughts and just enjoy that. But there are so many people, and shout out to Evelina Tweets, because she's one in particular that I saw get some hate for her review of All In, which was a very good review, by the way, and feel free to check out her Twitter. She should have a link to her YouTube page, and her All In review was very good. Did I agree with every single thing she said? I agree with pretty much most of it. But we're all different wrestling fans. The whole thing is even if I disagreed with her, even if I disagree with anybody, any fellow wrestling fan YouTuber that I watch, I'm not going to rail against them in this kind of stuff or whatever. I'm not going to say, hey, you dumb fuck, what the hell's going on? I'm not going to say that. You know why I'm not going to say that? Because we all have different fucking opinions. And that's the fucking thing that bothers me. And yeah, I'm going to fucking say the fucking word a lot of fucking times. So yeah, I might get a little bit angry here, but All In was not the greatest show ever. It was an amazing show for the fact that Cody, the Bucks, and everybody involved were able to pull it off. Because nobody thought they could. I was hoping they could, but I didn't know if they could. Technical issues and the Joey Ryan dick shtick and a few other things aside, this was a damn good show. It might be the show of the year simply for the fact they had something for everybody on the show. And it was a good variety show. And it was a very good variety show. But to hammer somebody... Now, by the way, for those who say All In sucked, okay, if you can find something to enjoy about it, that's fine. I kind of question what exactly you were expecting with it, though. But the whole point of this is, if you didn't think All In was the best show ever, fine. If you loved All In and thought it was a great show, fine. Whether I agree or disagree or not should not sway your opinion, should not cause you to attack. I'm not going to attack somebody because they have a different opinion than me, unless they're flat out fucking wrong. Now, I have attacked people in the past who have decided to be angry, worthless pricks, and some of them know who they are, but they're not watching this video because I blocked them from my channel, because they blocked me, because they couldn't take my opinion. Try to take a guess, by the way, who I'm referring to. You probably can guess that, because it's somebody from all the way back in January. Apparently, I'm not allowed to have my opinions. But anyway, the whole thing is as wrestling fans, we all need to enjoy what we enjoy, respect what others enjoy, and we can engage and we can talk to people if we don't agree with everything they've said. Because, believe me, I've gotten in arguments with Impact Wrestling fans because they're like, you should give Impact Wrestling another chance. You should give this. You should give that. I'm not giving Impact Wrestling another chance because I don't want to. But I'm not going to rail against anybody that wants to watch it. If you've watched it from the very beginning to now and you still enjoy it, that's fantastic. That company burned me enough times and I'd fucking had it. I'd fucking had it with watching it. I just couldn't fucking do it anymore. Plus, I had a schedule change to where I wasn't able to watch it live. And I ended up being busy a lot of the rest of the week, so I wasn't able to watch it. So why am I going to watch it on delay? But if you guys enjoy it, that's great. There are certain aspects of it I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy Josh Matthews on commentary because I think he's fucking terrible. He was terrible in WWE. He's terrible in Impact. But the whole point of that rant is, I'm not going to hate on you guys if you watch Impact. If you think Impact is the greatest brand, whether I agree or not should not affect your opinion. There are people that love Ring of Honor that want me to get in the Ring of Honor. I've appreciated everything that Ring of Honor has done and the fact that they've still been able to exist, but no, I'm not going to be able to watch a ton of Ring of Honor. I already watch enough WWE and New Japan and just, older WCW shows for this channel to satiate, my hunger for wrestling and to keep content up here. And among the movie reviews and rants that I do, where I don't have enough time to devote to a third brand. But Ring of Honor puts out some banger shows and some great stuff. And shout out to WWE NXT guy. He does some great Ring of Honor reviews. Check out his channel. But the whole point of it is like there are people that love just the British stuff. There are people that love deathmatch wrestling, and I don't love deathmatch wrestling. I appreciate some of it, but to me, a lot of it isn't all that good. Now, there is one guy that does, the hardcore stuff, Jimmy Havoc, that I do appreciate. I got to meet him at a Defy Northwest show. Super nice guy. I paid for an autograph. He gave me that. A really nice guy. Was able to take a selfie with him. Very nice. And he clearly knows what he's doing. He knows how to time the stuff. So it actually means something. I respect Jimmy Havoc. And I'm not saying I don't respect people that get in the ring. They're tougher than I am. But like the stuff where people are hitting each other with light tubes and this kind of stuff over and over and over, that's the kind of stuff I don't care for. Or the flaming tables or the flaming barbed wire. And you go back to Mick Foley and Terry Funk for doing that kind of stuff. Or the C4 stuff. There's something for everybody in wrestling is the whole point of this. Something for everybody. Whether it's All In, WWE, if you don't like WWE, watch New Japan. If you don't want to watch New Japan, watch WWE, watch Impact. Watch Ring of Honor. Watch British Wrestling. Watch CMLL. Watch AAA. Except Triple Mania, because then you'll hear Vampiro rip a freaking fart right on commentary. And I love Vampiro. I like Vampiro at least as a wrestler. And he doesn't seem like the worst guy in the world, though some have spoken out against him, but that's their business, not mine. I was a fan of the Vampiro character. But what I saw at Triple Mania, I was kind of glad I didn't tune in for that because there were a couple matches that I think were worth watching, but everything else was a mess. But if people enjoy AAA or CMLL, that's great. I ultimately want everybody who watches this channel, who watches wrestling, whether you do watch this channel or not, though you would have to be watching this video at least to know what I'm saying. I want you guys to just enjoy whatever you enjoy in wrestling. No matter what company, no matter whether you keep up on a bunch of companies, whether you keep up on New Japan, All Japan, you keep up on Japanese women's wrestling. I'm trying to keep up on a little bit more of that. I'm thinking about, if I can find a way to make budget work, I'm thinking about paying for Stardom and watching that. I'm looking, and there's one thing I want to point out. Apparently, there is a Women of Wrestling, like WOW, I think is what it's called. And that's actually going to be debuting on Access TV sometime in 2019. And apparently they've been going for a bit, and they secure a TV deal. That's fantastic. They signed Tessa Blanchard. I believe Santana Garrett is part of the company. That's going to be great, and I will certainly tune in for that. I'm here for that. I will try to, at the very least, DVR it if I'm at work, or if I can watch it live, I will watch it live. And I will consume more content, and I want to support great women's wrestling. And so, yeah, basically the bottom line is at the, for the last bit of this rant, before I get into the final rant, I just got inspiration for another one. There's something for everybody in wrestling, no matter what company you go for. So go for that. Defend your stuff, don't get me wrong, but if somebody just criticizes because they don't understand it, and they're not being mean-spirited, let's take it easy on that. Let's have a little bit of thicker skin. Now, let's defend our favorites. Don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier in that rant about people chanting, what if foreign wrestlers? Asuka, I was ready to fight those people, through the goddamn TV, because that was disrespectful. But now I'm leading to a whole thing about women's wrestling. And I'm going to be brief here. Very brief. The Bellas do not fucking deserve to be in the goddamn wrestling ring and wrestling ring again. The Brie's diving was embarrassing. Now look, ring rust, I get it. I'm glad that Brie is not hurt. That was fucking atrocious. She attempted to dive. People were like, oh, Sarah made a mistake. She didn't hit her soon enough. Okay. Then don't commit to it. And then that one dive that she attempted, where she nearly fell on her head, and Ruby, I believe it was Ruby and Liv, or maybe Sarah. I think actually maybe it was Ruby and Sarah. Liv might have even been there. But it was Ruby and Sarah, I believe, that had to save her from basically doing the same thing that Sasha almost did in a match, a great match that she had with Asuka on Raw, I think just after the Women's Royal Rumble, where Sasha nearly died because she nearly went headfirst into the mat outside, and Asuka had to kick her to stop. But let's go back to the Bellas. And again, if you guys are fans of the Bellas and you're watching this, I'm not knocking fans of the Bellas. The Bellas are a goddamn embarrassment to wrestling. They just are. They didn't cause women's wrestling to evolve. They caused it to de-evolve. What good have they done in the ring? Now, Nikki's run in 2016, 2017 wasn't terrible because she wasn't competing for the title. The feuds with, I believe it was Natty and Carmella, were pretty nice. That was actually back when I was like, oh, hey, Carmella actually has some promise. And just jobbed her out. And then even when she was Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank winner, and then won the championship, and then nobody fucking cared. And everybody just did that because they didn't believe it, and the matches were shit. But they brought the Bellas back like, oh, we're doing it for they're doing it for marketing, they're doing it for Total Bellas, they're doing it for the merch. I get that. And I'm talking WWE. I mean, I'm sure the Bellas is what it is. But Nikki, one of the promos she said at SummerSlam that she was focusing on their brand and Total Bellas and that kind of stuff. If you're not going to focus on the ring and getting better, why in the world are you here? I mean, besides being under contract and everything. Like, to me, that's worse than her. And no, it is not the Cena comparison because they're either together or not together. I don't think they're together. I don't really care. Their business, their life, whatever. Their lives. But yeah, it's like the Cena thing where now she's trying to call her own shots. She may get a shot against Ronda Rousey at Evolution, and that's in about just a little under 2 months. And that's flat out embarrassing, because what the fuck has Nikki Bella done to get a run with the title? She hasn't done a goddamn thing to get a run with the fucking title. Her run with the Divas Championship before was ass. And yes, she was injured, and thankfully she did not end up paralyzed. And I'm glad. I'm glad she's able to have a fully functioning life, because neck injuries are no goddamn joke. But that doesn't excuse the fact that her fucking title reign was fucking shit. And now, 3 years later, you think that she's going to be any better? Being on a part-time schedule? Ronda Rousey should be able to demolish her in 30 seconds. That's it. And watch them have Nikki beat Ronda, and then watch me set fire to my phone. I won't do that, because that's how I record my shows, and also how I communicate with you all. But it will be tempting. Maybe I'll just... I don't know, maybe I'll set fire to my Nikes because that's a smart thing to do. Yeah, that's a little bit of a dig there. Back to the women. You got all these super talented women that they could be using a whole lot better. This Becky-Charlotte feud I'm invested in. I hope Becky wins. I don't know if she will. We'll find out because this is about a week and a half before Hell in a Cell takes place. It'd be stupid if Becky doesn't win. Though, since it's a singles match, it could end up just being a DQ because they keep brawling. And they could go with that, which I'd actually be okay with. But the whole thing with the women, they're bringing back some of the part-timers. Trish, having Lita and Nikki is just dumb, I think. I just don't understand that. They had a good feud, but to me, you need to have legends or, established wrestlers, established women's wrestlers against younger wrestlers. Lita versus Ruby Riott would have been great. Mickey versus Ember Moon. I mean, I don't know, but Mickey versus Ember Moon could have been fun. That's just a suggestion right there. So, the bottom line is, yeah, it's a little bit of a rant on the Bellas, because what the fuck? Why? That was atrocious. That match they have with the Riot Squad, and no fault of the Riot Squad, was one of the worst women's matches of the year. Ring rust or not, they apparently have been working live events, the Bellas has. I'm sure the Riot Squad have been as well. But the Bellas have been working at least some live events. Working out ring rust does take a while. The wrestling business is no joke. People beat up their bodies to shit. They break their bodies for our entertainment. So I do respect them for that. But I'm sorry, the Bellas never belonged in the wrestling ring. They weren't very good. And the fact that they're going to be featured in big spots, possibly at Evolution, especially Nikki, is a slap in the face of all the women that have worked hard, past and present. There are women, fucking Aaliyah can outwork the Bellas. And nothing against Aaliyah, but she is probably the least along of the women that they've had in NXT for a number of years. There are just so many women that deserve that spot against Ronda. And if they go forward with this and do have Nikki face Ronda, it'd be slapping the face of hard-working women. Because I'm sorry, Nikki ain't, besides, being a marketing tool and pretty much a tool between the ears, she does not deserve that spot. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in for all of Rapid Fire. Agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter link in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin, and I will see you soon.